How about that cigar?
How about that cigar?
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Welcome to episode 102 of How About That Cigar live from the Drew Estate Cigar Studios. As always, thanks guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and for those of you listening or watching after the fact, thanks so much for spending some time with us. If you're listening on the audio podcast, thanks for hanging out with us while you're driving down the road or working out, whatever it is you do when you listen to your favorite audio podcast. Thanks for making us a part of that. And episode 102 of How About That Cigar Live. As always, you guys know that we are brought to you live from the Drew Estate Cigar Studios. And once again, let's talk about the brand new box designs for the famed Undercrown lines. The 25 count design is more compact and shelf friendly, enabling premium cigar retailers more shelf space inside their humidors. A decade ago, the staff at Drew Estate Factory realized they had to reduce their consumption of Liga Privada No. 9 cigars in order to keep up with consumer demand. These hardworking men and women in Esteli then created their own signature cigar to enjoy. Constructed with many of the same rare tobaccos found in Liga Privada, the grassroots Undercrown cigar brand debuted, followed by Undercrown Shade and then the Undercrown Sungrown. The new boxes for Undercrown Shade and Maduro are shipping now, with the Undercrown Sungrown soon to follow. For more info, please visit drewestate.com. So, guys, this week has been absolutely insane. I don't know about all you out there watching and listening. My work week was crazy. I had like some 13-hour days, working till 1, 2 in the morning, doing some system stuff that has to be done after hours. So, but it's all good. I'm alive. 2 weeks past Ristafari. I'm still alive. For Kevin and our friends checking in, I'm good. I hit a little too hard, but I'm good. I'm alive.
And I had a birthday on Saturday.
Yeah, this guy had a birthday.
And I went to this place called J. Morton's, which is a premium meat market just north of the cities. And I got some Wagyu and I got some 120-day dry-aged ribeye and went to a poker night. Matt was there. A couple of other friends of ours were there and shared this meat butter.
Oh, guys, if you guys out there who follow us, if you haven't just splurged once to go out there and get some really high quality like Wagyu beef or dry aged ribeyes or something, just pick a time when you've got those extra funds. Take a little bit of that stimulus money and get you a nice piece of steak, because this stuff was incredible. And I have had meat from J. Morton's before, but this stuff was over the top.
It was so good. Sous vide. Yeah, sous vide.
Yeah.
That Wagyu for 3 hours at 133. So the ribeye, I was surprised, and I was a little weary to do it, but the guy said, wrap it in foil, cook it at the oven, cook it in your oven at 170 for 2 hours, and then reverse sear. So I was like, really? He said, trust me. That will get all the flavors. And he wasn't wrong. The color looked wrong when first Scott cut into it. He was like, dude, it's overdone. And I was like, but is it dry? And he bit into it and he was like, no. Okay.
Seriously, guys, it's like meat butter. It's
all the fat just rendered perfectly. But that Wagyu, it was an MS9, so it wasn't A5. The A5 choices that they had were like $3.29 a pound, and I just wasn't.
$329, not $3.20. Yeah,
$329 a pound for A5, and I just couldn't pull the trigger on that. But the MS9 was at like it was at like $89 a pound.
Yeah. So Garrett, do you follow March Madness basketball?
So I watch some. I'm not following, like, I didn't do a bracket. This is the second year in a row I haven't done a bracket. And so I'm not really following it this year, but I've watched a few games. I don't know why I'm not into it this year. I'll be honest.
I haven't, and I was talking to a friend about this recently. I honestly quit watching basketball in all forms like right around 20 years ago. So Timberwolves had a nice run in the late 90s, early 2000s a little bit, and then just kind of fell off a cliff. And I saw a lot of the corporate stuff come into basketball, even in the college ranks, and I was like, I'm done. And I haven't paid attention since. I might get back into watching basketball again someday because I was really into it in the 80s and 90s, but now it's just not.
And if I'm gonna watch basketball, I enjoy college far more than I enjoy the NBA.
Yeah,
because those kids they want it. They want to make it to that next level, and they're hungry. And the March Madness is the best basketball in my opinion to watch. I just haven't.
Yeah,
I've had stuff going on.
We'll briefly check in on the Minnesota Wild. They're so hot and cold. I mean, they were on such a great run and doing phenomenally well, and then all of a sudden, I mean, the Colorado Avalanche, as hockey teams go, are absolutely out of control.
They're tied to the Ducks right now.
They outscored us in 2 straight games. I think 11-1. So, and that if I'm not mistaken, that one was an empty netter. So. Mm-hmm. We're just struggling again. So we'll see how it goes when we get closer to playoff time. But they just got to pick things up. It's all good. I'm glad it's hockey season, and looking forward to baseball as well. Baseball's underway for spring training, and NFL draft's right around the corner. So good things coming up. So guys, without further ado, let's bring our special guest onto the show. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, you know that here on How About That Cigar Live, special guests of the show are brought to you by Corona Cigar Company and coronacigar.com, the internet's largest and easiest to use virtual cigar store. Corona Cigar Company offers you the finest handmade cigars, humidors, and cigar accessories at the absolute lowest possible price. You'll also find unique and limited cigars containing Florida sun-grown tobacco. As a proud American, President and founder of Corona Cigar Company, Mr. Jeff Borshowitz, believed it was possible to bring cigar tobacco farming back to Florida. At Corona Cigar Company and coronacigar.com, you'll find the best selection anywhere in the world of cigars containing this special Florida sun-grown tobacco. If you live in Florida or are just visiting, be sure to visit any of the great Corona Cigar locations in downtown Orlando, Sand Lake, Lake Mary, and also the Davidoff of Geneva Lounge in Tampa. For more info on all of that, please visit coronacigar.com and floridasungrown.com. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, if you would please put your hands together, make some noise for our special guest on episode 102 from Black Star Line Cigars, Mr. Aric Bey. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's happening? How you doing?
Oh, man, it's a beautiful night. We're loving life, smoking great cigars, talking to a great guest. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm just glad the weather in Chicago kind of broke a little bit. It's almost 70 degrees today, and it's probably about 55 or so right now. So I get a chance to smoke with the garage door open, instead of having it closed up and smoking myself out every night. So all the smoke. Yeah. Yeah.
It's always nice here in the Midwest when things warm up a little bit. And my wife and daughter were sitting out on the deck a little bit earlier. And it's been so long since we've been able to do that. So I'm glad things are turning around.
I just got to keep an eye out because there will be a stray raccoon try to come in and have a cigar with me. I can't have that going on.
Well, if you suddenly get up and run, we'll know what's up.
Yeah, we'll send help.
Or possum. I got possums around my house too, so they come around.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't play with those. I run like a scared girl from those. That's all there is to it. I'm not. Nope. I don't even try to pretend like I'm strong around those. I see them, I run.
Yeah.
So Aric, tell us where you're broadcasting from and what you are smoking and drinking along with us this evening.
I am broadcasting from my man cave here in Chicago. I'm a retired Chicago firefighter, so I'm tied to the city. So I live on the south side, and like I said, this is my man cave. So, and I am smoking a Warwich, and I'm drinking Old Forester 1920 Prohibition.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, welcome to the show from your man cave. And we're so excited because we started seeing some of your cigars on social media and a lot of press. There was a lot of good things that we were reading and hearing about and seeing you on some other podcasts. And you reached out, and we were obviously more than happy to have you on the show just to learn your story. That's one of the things we like to do is we like to get to know the people in the business, and just give people kind of this show as a platform just to tell your stories and get the word out there. So give us a little bit of an idea about you as a cigar smoker, Aric. What was your first experience when you sat down and fired up a premium hand-rolled cigar?
I actually started smoking in the firehouse about 6 years ago, so 6.5 years ago, and it was a Black Pearl that I smoked. I liked smoking it, but the only thing I didn't like was it really upset my stomach, like to the point I was like running to the toilet. So, but I still enjoyed the cigar so much that I kept smoking different ones. So I went on to smoke a Black Cherry cigar from a local lounge around here, and then I quickly went on to Drew Estate's League of Providers, Dirty Rats, and that type of thing.
Yeah. And so when you started getting into premium cigars, and like you said, working and serving as a firefighter, and let us both say, thank you for your service as a firefighter anywhere around municipalities around the world. Anybody who serves, whether it's police or firefighter, EMT, paramedics, thank you guys for all that.
Yeah, thank you.
And so as you kind of developed a love for premium cigars, did you find yourself going to lounges more and more and learning about different brands that were out there and trying to find out what you like to smoke?
I really was going to Benny's because Benny's is not too far away from my house, and they have a pretty good humidor over there. So I would go in there. I would talk to the guy there at the time who knew a lot about cigars. So I would go in there and talk to him and get different stuff. And then I started going to lounges after that and starting to sit and look at their inventory and seeing what they had and, talking to the owners and see what they recommended and that type of thing. And that's how I grew my palate, developed my palate.
Yeah. Chris wants to know, where did you get that fine hat?
Keith and James. Yeah, it's the Keith and James. What's up, Chris?
So talk about the origin story. When did you come up with the idea to start your own cigar brand, and what did the very beginning of it look like?
Because and if I can add to that, 6 years, Aric, 6 years you've been, and that's a relatively new-ish hobby, new thing. Within 6 years, we're here.
Yeah.
So fill in the gap for us.
Yeah, so when I take a liking to things, I dive head first in them, so I learn a lot about them. So basically, I was sitting here in my man cave and was thinking about a business I wanted to start, and I was just thinking, and I was like, man, you like these cigars so much, why don't you try to have a run at that? So I reached out to my good friend over 20 years. His name is Aric Bey, and he's the one that helped me start the business. So I reached out to him and I asked him to, you want to try to help me start a cigar company. So he was definitely glad to help me out, and and that's how we ended up here. So we started off by networking at Drew Estate's events, because I was smoking a lot of Drew Estate stuff then. And that's how I became acquainted with Jonathan Drew. So he gave us his email at first, and then I didn't get any response to the email. So we went back to another event here in Chicago. So he gave us his number. So, and then he's the one that led El Tito de Bronze down in Miami. So that's when I got hooked up with Sandy and El Tito de Bronze. And for those that don't know, that's Willie Herrera's family factory. So that's Sandy is Willie Herrera's mother-in-law. So that's where Herrera Steli Miami is rolled out of, and the new Cola Series M is coming out of there as well. Sean Williams. So but I had to chase Sandy for a long time to get her attention, because she wasn't in the factory a lot. So basically, to get her attention, I sent her some flowers because her mother was sick. So I sent her some flowers, and I still didn't hear anything. So it was about another few months went by, and then we decided to call just out of the blue. And her daughter answered the phone, and we asked her, and she was like, "Oh yeah." And Giselle said, "Yeah, she's right here." And handed the phone over. And then Sandy remembered that we sent her those flowers. She was like, "You was a nice guy from Chicago that sent those flowers, right?" And we were like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do the blends for you." So that's where El Milagro came from. El Milagro means the miracle. So it's a Mexican San Andres wrapper is the red one, and then the Sun Grown Milano is the blue one.
Okay.
Now, do you know Phil Pitts?
I'm sorry, dude. Do I know who?
Phil Pitts, our guy Phil Pitts. No, okay.
I don't think I've met him before.
Another Chicago guy. He nearly killed Matt the other day.
Yeah, he almost killed me at Ristafari. That's a long story. We don't have to talk about it.
We don't have to talk about it. I just wanted to call out Phil.
It sounds like a funny story, though.
Yeah, we'll talk about
the fact that you made it, then that means we can laugh about it. So.
We'll talk about that off the air. That's just in case my kids ever watch this. So starting off with the first blend or first couple blends, working with the people at El Teton. So talk about the process that you went through as far as, what did that look like? Did you give them some ideas of what you were looking for as far as sizes, flavor profiles, and then they put together some samples and send those off to you? How does that work at the beginning?
Yeah, so we knew we wanted a Toro size. That's one of the top selling size Vitolas that sells. So and then we were just going off of our palate. So Sandy and Derek and I kind of worked together and picking out the wrapper binder filling in each one of the blends. So they put the samples together and they sent them to us. So the first set of samples that we smoked, they were good, but they weren't strong enough. So I reached back out to Sandy and I was like, Sandy, these are good, but they're not strong enough. They need more ligero. So she was like, más fuerte. I was like, oh yeah, I need stronger.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need stronger. So they put some more ligero in it and then sent the blend back and both blends back. And then that's the version that you have right now.
Okay. And this, so this Warwich that Garrett and I are also smoking right now. And I'm having a little Florida Cagna 12-year along with it. And this, any kind of rum, I like it because it's usually got some kind of butterscotch stuff going on with it. And the Warwich, I like it because it's got kind of these softer front notes of like graham cracker and stuff like that, but then you get that pepper in the back.
Oh yeah, it's spicy.
And I like the mix.
Stick.
I like the mix.
Yeah. Did you do a cold draw? So the cold draw on this was like, it was fruity.
Yeah.
It was sweet, and I was one of my favorite cold draws so far of a new cigar I've had this year. Delicious cold draw. If you guys don't do a cold draw, do a cold draw.
Yeah.
You might, the flavors might not even be remotely close to what it is smoking, but it's a fun thing that I love to do every cigar. Do a cold draw.
Chris has got this coffee cocktail I got to try. 3 parts medium roast coffee, 2 parts 5 Farms Irish cream, and 1 part Teeling single. I got to try that because that sounds like a good drink for a day that I have nothing to do. Which they don't come around often, but that sounds like a
good luck having just one of those.
Yeah, just one. So Aric, tell us about your manufacturing partner now. Is it? I'm correct saying you moved on. Your cigars are being produced at Aganorsa Leaf. Is that right?
Well, yeah, Warwich is being produced at Aganorsa Leaf.
Okay.
Yeah. So the story behind that is I became good friends with Sean Williams, and he's become my mentor. So whenever I go to Atlanta, he always invites me over and sit down and we talk about my business strategies, and he gives me praise or he yells at me. So either way it helps me.
But that's good mentorship.
Oh yeah, he was here in Chicago and he was asking me, what direction did I want to go in. So I was talking about El Teton and I said I love the factory and they embraced me like family. But of course the tobacco was higher because we're buying it from America as opposed to going to Nicaragua or Dominican Republic. So he asked, what do you want to do? So I was like, he named off a bunch of factories, Aganorsa, he named Placencia, he named some other ones. And I told him, I'm a fan of Warped because Kyle started off at El Teton and then he went on to do some stuff with Aganorsa and does stuff back and forth. So I was like, I like that formula because it's 2 great factories. So I told him, I was like, I'd like to work with Aganorsa. So he told me to hold on and, he'll get back to me in a day. So the next day he called me and he told me that he spoke to Terrence Riley personally for me and told me Terrence Riley was waiting. He's ready to work with us. I called Terrence and Terrence was ready to go. He said, send me whatever blend over that you were looking for. So I sent him 2 blends. One was Warwich and then the other one was another cigar that I may not release. And when I got the samples, Warwich was just phenomenal out the gate, and I was blown away from the first time I smoked it. So I knew when I smoked it that was going to be a winner, and then I just totally forgot about the second cigar. So So and then it turned out when Warwich came out, it was it's a fan favorite. A lot of people like it. They think just because it's Connecticut that it's supposed to be just like this real mild, light cigar, and then when they smoke it, they find out it's flavorful and it's spicy and peppery, and then when you get to that midway point, that's when the strength kicks up some too. So yeah, so it was a good size of Corona box press that people like too. And it's not a full blown box press. It's a soft box press. It's not like a Java where it's like a square. It's a soft box press. So people like that aspect of the Vitola as well.
Yeah, it's easy to smoke, and it's and we've been fortunate too to have Sean Williams on the show, and we absolutely love that guy, and we can see why, just because he kind of has that, he's kind of got that mentor spirit to him, and he's just a great guy. We love him to death, and Terrence has been on the show as well, and Terrence is just like a ball of energy. He gets his hands on a project and he gets in there to help somebody out, and he's just nonstop. And so
Joel Osteen. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, I said that's Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen.
Everybody says he look like Joel Osteen.
Yeah, I love those. I love seeing those comparisons out there. People put the side by side pictures.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Now, Aric, so you've got some love happening in the comments section. We've got Faith, throwing out.
Oh, that's my wife.
Okay, Faith is throwing out bslcigars.net, and then Tally is throwing out blackstarline.shop. Are these places people can go to find both your cigars and swag?
Yeah, that's the website. So they both go. Both of those go to the same site, so it doesn't matter which one you put in. They both go to the same site. So yeah. And
do you have an online presence for cigars?
Online, yeah. I sell directly to consumer, but I'm also carried with Privada Club. Cigar Federation is sold out, so they got to re-up with us. Cigarclub.com has us, and I think that's it for the online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have that hoodie on the site?
Everybody asked me that. There was only one made, and it was for me.
No.
I've been debating if I'm going to put them out or not. So yeah,
well,
but yeah, everybody likes this hoodie.
There's a lot of votes that you should put those out.
Yeah, you need that.
I'll pick one up.
I would definitely sport that hoodie. Now, when did you release the War Witch? When did that come out?
War Witch was initially released at NFG 2020. No fucks given 2020.
So
down
the
in underground.
Underground.
Yeah. So I initially released it as a special size. The special size was the Robusto of 5x50. So that was what I released at Underground for their event. And then the normal production at the time was Corona Box Press. So, but yeah, we at Underground we sold 415 War Witch in 4 hours. So it was a hit. People just kept coming back to the table to get more.
And a shout out to Don Wiggins and all the crew there at
Don, that's my man.
Good people there. Philip Pitts wants to know in the Chicago area what shops can he find those at in the Chicago area?
Casa de Puros in Forest Park and Legendary on I think it's 57th and Wentworth. I don't have a huge presence here in Chicago, but I'm carried in 40 different lounges nationwide.
Nice. What about outside the U.S.? Anything yet, or still in the works?
No, I haven't even tapped into America yet.
Someday. Yeah. Baby steps.
Yeah. We've only been around a year and 8 months, and there's only 3 of us that are, that are working, and 2 of them have full-time jobs. I'm the only retired guy, so
Yeah. So the War Witch got it all started. Connecticut wrapper, flavorful, spice to it at the same time. So then talk to us about this one. I'm going to hold up to the camera here with the red band on it.
Yeah, it's a Mexican San Andreas, Ecuadorian binder, and a Nicaraguan filler. Full body cigar. Because the Mexican San Andreas wrapper's got the earth, the clay, it's got spice in it, and a nice pepper, and it's got a good through the whole cigar. So if you like a more full body cigars, that would be the one you would go for. That's actually my favorite one too. It was actually rated the highest out of the 3 cigars as well. So by Stogie Press.
Nice.
Yeah, it was rated a 92.
And then this one with the beautiful bright blue band. What's that one?
That one's a sun-grown Habano, Ecuadorian binder, and Nicaraguan Dominican filler.
Okay.
It's a medium full cigar. It's flavorful all the way through. It's not as strong as the red one, but some people say the blue one is better than the red one because it's just like a flavor bomb. So
yeah,
a lot of people call it an everyday smoke. So it's not something that's gonna really like put you on your ass, but you'll get some strength out of it, and you'll get a lot of flavor.
So if you were going to tell, somebody who's a novice cigar smoker, somebody who's maybe brand new to cigars, they're on maybe their 10th or 12th cigar of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have them start with that blue band from your line, or would you have them start with the War Witch?
I would have them smoke the blue one. I've actually done that before too. And then the young lady that she normally smoked flavored cigars, and she wanted to support me, so she bought a blue one and she smoked it and she loved it. The War Witch may be a little too much for a brand new smoker because, like I said, once the strength kicks up, it's like it doesn't let go.
Yeah.
Because when I first smoked it, I wasn't ready for it, and it got me. And it was cold outside. I had to go outside and get some air. So.
Yeah.
So this War Witch, here's the thing that for those who know, box pressed cigars can tend to have a very loose draw. They can, and it's very easy to over smoke a lot of box press. This is perfectly rolled. The resistance is
it's
perfect.
Just right. Yeah, it's just right.
Perfect. Yeah. On this box press. So, good job to the factory people who put this together, because it's fantastic.
Yeah, I got no leaf from seed to ash. It's a great product.
Man.
Yeah, and they've just got so many great people around there who know what they're doing, from the people who everything from the people who process the tobaccos to deveining to sorting, all of it. They've been doing it so long, and then on top of that, like you said, you get somebody like Terrence involved. So talk to us a little bit about from the factory relationship standpoint, and also the mentorship standpoint. You mentioned already, obviously, Terrence and Sean Williams. Are there some other people who have even just maybe if there's somebody you sent some cigars to and said, hey, please smoke these and give me your honest opinion? Who are some other people that you've reached out to just to kind of get their feedback?
Well, early on, Skip Martin and Mike Rosales from Roma Craft, they sat and talked with me for a while, and told me about tobacco. Skip has smoked all three of the cigars, and he's posted on Instagram for me. So he's definitely a supporter, and he roots for me. And anytime I reach out to him, he give me any kind of advice I want. Pete Johnson from Tatawahe, I've sat and talked with him. He tried to give me everything he could in the short time period. Because Up Down does the Tatawahe Mardi Gras event, so he was there, and I got a chance to sit with him in the back of the bus. They were doing a bus ride from Goose Island to Up Down. So on our way back, he ended up coming to the back of the bus and sitting next to me, and we just started talking. And he was like, "Oh yeah, that's what you want to do." He's like, "Oh, I'll tell you everything I can within this ride from Goose Island to Up Down." So yeah, who else have I sat and talked? Of course, JD. I talked to Lito a little bit. Lito Gomez. I've met him before. And I know other cigar owners. Jonas from Blackbird. He gave me a lot of good tips. Because he said when he was coming in that it was other brands that were kind of trying to block him and didn't want to tell him anything. So he said, he didn't want to be like that. So when he found out that I had a cigar line, he just came. I was at his event, and he just came and sat next to me and started just giving me tips and Instagram tips. Tips on how to get better prices on bands. I mean, the boxes, everything. It gave me his number so I can call him anytime. So,
nice.
It's been a very warm welcome coming into this industry, and I find out that a lot of owners are very friendly, and they, it's not a competition thing. We want to see everybody do well.
That's right. That's what I love, and it's the same in cigar media as well. We're friends with all the other cigar media outlets and just cigar culture in general. So, Aric, when you started smoking, you started enjoying cigars, you're developing your palate, you're growing in. When was that moment that you were like, I think I want to do this? What was
Like
that moment like?
like I said, I was smoking a lot of Drew Estate cigars. I mean, I probably almost had every one of them they've had outside the H99. I still can't find that one. But
Neither can
Call it.
like I
Yeah,
said, I was sitting here in the garage
their
and
studio sponsor. We can't get him either.
I was actually smoking a Drew Estate business, and and I really like interacting with JD and how much of a people person he was, and I was really impressed with his when I was watching him talk to other people, and I was really impressed with his memory because he might have met you 4 years ago, and if he doesn't remember your name, he remembers the interaction, and he remember what you all talked about too. So when we met him a few times, and he definitely remembered who we were and what we were trying to do, and the love that he showed us, that's part of the reason too. Is JD really really impressed me. He comes through and he's just a really nice guy.
Yeah.
When you're, it's also amazing we see your wife on here, to have a partner like that. How has that partnership been? And, what did those conversations look like early on with, hey baby, I want to start the cigar thing?
Yeah, well, she was all for it. She told me, she was like, I know you like those, and she doesn't like cigars, but she knows I love them. So, and she knows things that I like and very passionate about. So she knew I was going to do well with it because I was going to work really hard to make it happen. She helps me out. She goes to get my thank you cards printed, and when I'm out of town, she's the one that's shipping the product out. So because I like to make sure the product gets shipped out within 24 hours. So if I'm going somewhere promoting, then she's the one that's, I'll send her over a screenshot of what needs to be sent out, and she does it. She does all the quality control and putting it together and shipping. So it's a good partnership. She definitely helps me out a lot. So.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And you, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong about this, but I think I saw on the website that you also have some flavored cigars. Is that right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rum, peach cognac, vanilla bourbon, coffee, and apple whiskey. So I infuse everything here in my house. It's actually Aganorsa tobacco that I'm infusing. So it's not like Woolworths or anything. It's a whole different blend. Corojo wrappers is what I use for those. They're 6x60s. I do all the work here myself. I let them age and and infuse, and then once they're ready, I have people that indulge in that type of cigar. I have them come over and have them smoke it. And I even smoke them every once in a while, even though I despise infused cigars. But I'll smoke it every once in a while just so I can talk about it. But I really go off of what people say that actually like that type of cigar, and they tell me, hey, it's ready to be released. And once I get that go, then I release them on the website. I sell a lot of those though. Like I think I sold at least 100 of them today. So
and we're also kind of in that same vein. We're not really big on flavored or infused cigars, but a few times a year we'll grab a coffee infused or acid or something like that.
Rose.
Just honestly, it just kind of mixes things up a little bit sometimes, just to give our palate a little something different to mix it up.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead if you have something.
No, I was gonna say I try to smoke the fat bottom Bettys and all the stuff from South Dakota. I think it is.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Deadwood. And Deadwood. Yeah, that's what it is. I used to like them initially, but then my palate kept changing, and I tried to smoke them again, and I just didn't like them anymore. And then my palate has been changing so much. Like I try to smoke some Dominican cigars, and they're not doing it for me anymore. And I don't know why, but I don't know if it's what I'm eating. I'm eating more spicy stuff, or I'm just smoking more Nicaraguan stuff or stuff from Esteli. It's something, but my palate has changed.
Yeah.
And like a lot of LFDs that I used to like, I just they're not doing anything for me anymore.
Over the 24 years I've been smoking cigars, my palate has changed. I don't know how many times. And like right now I'm in a big Connie kick. I'll go back to something else here. It's constantly changing for me.
Yeah.
But Aric, tell us about the name Black Star Line. Where did that name come from? And then maybe tell us about the artwork in that process.
Black Star Line is actually Marcus Garvey Shipping Company. So Marcus Garvey had a shipping company where he was going to transport goods and as well as people from America back to Africa. He was buying dilapidated ships, so he never really made it across to Africa. So what he did was he just did business in the islands. So I like the concept of transporting things worldwide. So that's why I decided to call Black Star Line Cigars, because eventually I will get across the pond and start doing business over there. I actually do have customers in Europe. I just don't have, I'm not in lounges there.
Sure.
I've shipped to Japan and other countries too. So I've shipped internationally. I just don't have a presence in those countries.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then the artwork, where did that come from?
The artwork is the African symbol. So that the symbol represents opening the roads. So I wanted to open the roads for Black Star Line Cigar to be very successful. So that's why I use that symbol. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's nice.
I love it. It's just clean. It's neat.
So talk to us a little bit about, because, one of the things that as for us as cigar nerds and also a lot of people who watch and listen to the show, people are always interested in, and we're really interested in, if there are any projects you're working on right now, if there's any test blends that you're kind of in the middle of and that may become future projects, or are you focusing your attention right now on growing the brand and the core lines?
Well, I mean, I'm always growing. So yeah, I do have new stuff. Hopefully if Aganorsa can get me the cigar next month, I do have a new stick called Lalibela. It's a Mexican San Andreas wrapper, Corojo binder, and Jalapa Nefsili in the filler. It's coming out in a 6x60 and Toro size as well, 6x52. So, I brought out a bigger size. A lot of people would ask me about bigger cigars, and I don't smoke big ring gauges. If it's over a 54, I'm probably not interested in something. But I do. It's a lot of people that ask me about 6x60s, and the samples I got were 6x60, and it was a fantastic blend. So I haven't had it in the Toro size. So if I liked it in the 6x60, I'm probably gonna be amazed by the Toro size.
Yeah.
I did move from El Tito de Bronze to Aganorsa for the El Milagro sticks. The reason for that is COVID hit, and everybody in the factory, for those that don't know, El Tito de Bronze is a very small factory, so I think it's 6 to 8 rollers in there. Everybody in the factory, including Sandy, her mother, and I think Willie and his wife, caught it. So the factory was shut down for 2 months. So then when they opened back up, you got Warp coming out of there, you got La Polina Goldies coming out of there, Herrera Steli Miami, and then what I didn't know was coming out of there that I found out was the Cohiba Cerium. So they really didn't have time for me. So I talked to Terrence, and we successfully replicated the blends at Aganorsa, and then I'm gonna circle back to LT, and I'm gonna do some other blends with them because I have some ideas that I want to do, even names and stuff. I'm gonna do something for firefighters, some firefighter stick that's gonna come out of LT and Bronze.
Very cool.
So yeah, so that's gonna be a good project that I'm gonna do with them. I do a limited edition out of there, and then I'll just keep doing it like that, And then I have a coffee coming in as well. Hopefully released Friday. It's a Warwick coffee. It's made particularly to pair with the Warwick. That's an Ethiopian coffee, medium roast, I think it is.
Oh yes.
And I'm not even really a coffee drinker, but when I had it, I was like, this is a good coffee, And even if you don't smoke, it's a good standalone coffee as well.
Ethiopian, and Matt and I talk about Ethiopian coffee all the time. The natural aroma of Ethiopian coffee is like blueberries and deliciousness. Yeah. And I was fortunate to grow up, or not to grow up, but to I've lived next to an Ethiopian family for 13 years now.
Okay.
And this time of year, anytime now, they should be getting their shipment of beans. And for like 2 weeks straight, they just roast beans in their garage and just wafts the entire neighborhood. That is the best part of waking up. It is wonderful.
Yeah, normally when I smell coffee, it just smells like coffee to me. This particular coffee had a great aroma to it, like a key lime pie type smell to it. It was like other citrus notes when I was smelling it, and I was like, wow, it just smells delicious, even when you're preparing it, So. Yeah, so I'm excited. We finalized the packaging 2 days ago, and the printer only takes like a day to print the stuff up. So we're looking to do an IG live. Me and Ethnos Coffee out of Memphis doing the collaboration. So we're looking to do the IG live so we can talk about it sometime midweek, I think next week. So and then release it. So
Yeah.
And are you going to do that on a website where people can get it?
yeah, I'll sell it on my website, and then Ethnos will have it too. So you'll be able to get it in 2 different places.
Perfect.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk short-term and long-term goals. Oh no,
I left 2 things out.
Yeah, go for it.
I did recently smoke a Maduro version of Warwick, which was phenomenal. it's got a Corojo wrapper on it, and I had more Ligero put in it, so it's that was a fantastic thing. And then also I'm working out a deal with all 3 smoker abbeys, the one in Nashville, the one in Memphis, and one in Austin, to do a special size of the Warwick, and it'll be a Perfecto. And it'll be the Corojo side, the Corojo wrapper on it too. So
nice.
So that's the other new stuff that I got coming out.
Very cool. Yeah, that's a good group to be in with. Yep. They move product, and they're good people. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk because this is such a new project, and it's just honestly, it's so great to see the cigar community, because we love this cigar culture and the cigar community so much. And like you said, you've got a lot of people who wanted to give you advice and come along and give you help. So now that you're like 18 months into this, what are like short-term goals and long-term goals for the brand? What are you looking forward to get out of this?
Short term, I need to make sure that I keep enough inventory to keep up with the demand, because that's the problem that I have right now is I just keep running out before I can get more cigars. And then, people go to my website and everything's sold out. It's a good problem, but still a problem, long term, I want to make sure that I'm in more lounges and have more of a nationwide presence. Because even though I'm in 40 lounges, there's still thousands upon thousands of people that never heard of me before. Even though I'm coming out of Aganorsa and LT and DeBrons, they still never heard of me before. So, I need to get more of a presence in more states and more lounges, and people. I do more events, and more people get to know me, and get to know the brand and get to know the tobacco, and know it's good tobacco. It's not some tobacco that I'm just rolling in my basement. So
yeah. And so we talked a little bit before we went live that you are planning on attending the TPE trade show in May.
Yeah, I'll be there.
And are you also going to plan on attending the PCA trade show in July?
I'll be there as well.
Okay.
I'm actually going there with the owner of Robusto's Tobacco House in Atlanta. So I'll be going there with Rob and my good buddy Cliff. I'll be there with him. Cliff is the manager of Robusto's Tobacco House. Unfortunately, Robusto's Tobacco House burned down recently. So they're in the process of rebuilding it. And Rob actually got approached by Bravo TV to do a reality show on the rebuild of the shop. So my ugly mug may make an appearance on the show at one point or another.
So, and I think you did mention it a little bit ago, but as far as your brand of cigars, which is the one that you find yourself reaching for more than any other?
The San Andreas. Yeah, the San Andreas. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of San Andreas wrappers. So that's the first one that I fell in love with, even though I love the other 2, but that's my favorite one. That one was rated a 92 by Stogie Press. War was rated a 90 by Stogie Press, and the Sungrown Habano was rated a 90 by Stogie Press as well. So
nice. Well, it's exciting stuff. We are obviously just for the first time smoking the Warwick. We're already fans and excited to try the other cigars that you sent to us to sample. We appreciate that so much because we know inventory is low, so we appreciate a couple cigars to try out and get to know your brand and stuff. And man, it's just exciting stuff. We love seeing new brands, even with everything going on in the world today, whether it's FDA regulations or COVID or anything like that. starting a new brand, it's a daunting task, but we admire and appreciate the balls that it takes to just really put yourself out there, and we think you've seen good success so far, and we think there's going to be more of it.
Yeah, because tobacco is being demonized right now, so it's it's tough, but I'm not scared. They'll have to make me stop selling cigars for me to stop doing it. If they don't, I'm gonna keep producing good stuff, and keep putting it out. Because I got to give the people what they want, and I think I got a good enough palate to keep putting out good cigars and coming up with good blends. So and it's worked so far.
Well, we're in a craft renaissance right now too, with everything from cigars to beer to wine, and we're seeing a lot of great craft stuff. And that's the thing that I love about what Matt and I do, is getting to talk to people like you, Aric, and hear your story, and the fact that you've had the mentors, the people that you've had, tells people that you're doing it right. You're not out here to just hustle and sell some crappy cigars. You're putting out a damn good product.
Thank you.
Yeah,
because a lot of people think I just jumped into it because I had enough money to buy some cigars. I'm like, no, I went and I sat with owners and became friends with them, and they're to the point we talk to this day. And then I'm looking to meet more owners, and network and get to know what they're doing, so I could do things better on my end. And anybody new that's coming behind me, people reach out to me all the time. I'm more than glad to talk to anybody. If I can help you. If I know something about it, or there's some way I can help, I'm glad to do it, because that's what was done for me.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. So is it time?
I think so.
It's time.
I think it's time.
All right, it is now time for this week's Numero de los Muertos. And as always, guys, you know that Numero de los Muertos is brought to you by Smoke Inn Cigars. So please visit smokeinn.com and visit Honest Abe and the whole team over there at Smoke Inn to find a great selection of premium hand-rolled cigars. So, Garrett, what do you have for us this week?
All right. Just to remind everybody, Numero de los Muertos is a game we like to play where I give a number, and it's up to you, the viewers, and our guests and Matt, to guess how these people died. And this week, I've got a couple different numbers for us. So a 30-year average in the U.S. is 47. Okay, that's the 30-year average since 1986. But since in the last 10 years, so from 2010 to 2020, it has gone down to 27. Not trying to throw you off, because that really, I don't have an answer for that, but there's two different averages there. So,
all right,
we've got a couple different numbers.
So we're talking recently 27 in the last 10 years.
Okay,
so average of 27 per. Is this US only?
This is US only.
All right, so as always, viewers, if you got guesses, leave some guesses in the comments. Aric and I are gonna throw some guesses out here and try to get some more clues along the way. Do not be out there, all our viewers. Don't be on your phones digging for clues. Be right about this.
All right, John. It is not medical. Quentin, Skippo, and Pet Rock. I think you should just go drown yourself.
Yeah, I think Thor. Is it dodgeball? Chad says dodgeball. I hope it's not dodgeball.
Maybe it's a wrench. If you can dodge a wrench, you can.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
So Orlando, it's interesting that you say that, because while it's not fishing, fishermen are at the top of the list.
Oh,
so there's a big clue.
Okay. All
right. So 27 a year, United States.
Faith guessed skydiving. It is not skydiving.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It is not noodling, which is on my bucket list.
Thor's always got the always shrimping.
Shrimping? No, it's not shrimping.
Not sharks. We did sharks.
Yeah, it's very low number.
Surfing?
Surfing is not. It's not surfing.
Okay, that was a good guess.
It is.
So it's related to fishing.
No,
It's not related to it.
No.
Is it related to fish?
Mm-mm.
Well, why did you say what you said then?
So 90% of the people who die from this were out fishing.
Scuba dive.
Chad, you're closer, but you guys are focusing too much on the water, while the water statistics are obviously significant. It can happen anywhere.
Crack?
What was that, Aric?
Crack.
All them crackheads.
That can happen anywhere.
Can't happen anywhere. That's probably more than 27 a year, sadly.
Drowning, not strangled by net.
Is it lightning?
It is lightning.
Damn.
Okay.
Lightning.
Like 27 a year, but it was more than that before.
The 30-year average was 43 since 1986. If we go back to 1986 to 2019, whatever that time period was, it was 43. But between 2010 and 2020, it was 27. So I had been seeing lightning guest on this for a long time. I never did it.
For some reason, I thought we already did that one, but you're right, we didn't.
I haven't done lightning yet.
Yeah.
And so overwhelming majority are men and are out fishing
Because men are stupid.
Yep.
Yep.
See them storm clouds. I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
In my aluminum boat.
Yeah. That's holding a fishing rod up in the air. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
It's
Everything's
just
fine.
graphite.
Everything's fine.
It'll be okay.
I'll be home for dinner, honey. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
So
I've never been fishing before. My dad has, though. He never took me, though.
You've never been fishing?
Never. I actually been interested in it. You know?
Yeah.
If it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
It was
That's
a good one. Good job, man.
I bet the numbers for 20, if you take a few years from now when they have the statistics ready, the numbers for lightning strikes for deaths by lightning in 2020 are going to be real low because nobody went outside.
Yeah.
So see, COVID keeps you safe, from lightning because you can't go out.
Hid in your house.
Yeah, unless your house gets struck by lightning.
So I looked, deep into the statistics, and there's this one page that has it all categorized by age and locations and states. And the Midwest, especially Tornado Alley, are the big culprits. A lot of freshwater, not as so much saltwater, but a lot of freshwater accidents.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
that's a good one. That was this week's Numero de los Muertos. And once again, as always, Numero de los Muertos brought to you by Smoke In Cigars. So, all right, Aric, lightning round.
All right.
If you could hear the thoughts of one living person for 10 minutes, who would it be and why?
One living person for 10 minutes? Whoa, that's a good one. I would probably say KRS-One because he's my favorite rap artist. So I would want to know how he's developing the rhymes and what he uses for the inspiration for his songs and how he puts the songs together and that type of thing. 'Cause I'm a big hip hop head, so I'm listening to rhymes all the time. Most Def, Most definitely. I would like to hear what's going on in his head and see how he's putting his rhymes together. Because anytime I'm getting ready for an interview, I always listen to Most Def Talib Kweli, the Black Star Line album or Black Star album. because they talk a lot about Black Star and stuff, so that gets me hyped up for the interview.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm always ready. So
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, Nas was one of mine. KRS-One would be one of mine. Black Thought.
Black Thought is absolutely. I can't get enough of him. Always have.
Yeah, the Roots.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. I was listening to them early on when they first came out. Philadelphia. They put on some good music.
So, and the British, he died last year. The British guy, MF Doom.
Oh, Doom.
I listen to Doom every day.
Yeah.
Every day. I miss him so much. Like, you know, Zev Love X, when he came out with Third Base and Black Bastards was that one, you know. So, you know, and then when Sub Rock died and he went underground and came back out with the mask and it was Doom. It was Doom.
Yeah.
And then I listen to Doom every day.
That mask. And he was what, 46?
Yeah,
something like that.
It's closer to 50. Yeah,
when he died, he was still so young. I mean, man.
He actually died on Halloween, and I was amazed that they actually kept it a secret that whole time, until they released it, because nobody knew.
Because the news didn't come out till like late January, I think.
That was Doom is one of my favorite artists. I love that.
Yeah. All right, if you were about to get into a fight, what would your soundtrack music be?
Wu-Tang Clan. Or Onyx.
Onyx!
Album. Or MOP. Brown.
Yep.
Annie Up. Yeah.
I love it. Onyx.
All right. So
long time.
Choose one of the following. You could hit a home run as a starting pitcher. You could score a touchdown as a defensive lineman. You could score a goal in a hockey game as the goalie, or a goal in a soccer game as the goalie.
I would choose football because I actually played football.
Okay.
I was a defensive back. So I would go for that. And 85 Bears is my favorite team ever. So I never really got into baseball. You know, Bo Jackson is one of my favorite players, and I've seen him play live, and I fell asleep. So when he played for the Sox, you know, but I would go with football because that was my sport. And that's that.
Every time I hear Bo Jackson, it just goes through my head. Bo knows this and Bo knows that, but Bo don't know Jack because Bo can't rap.
Fight Dog. Yeah, Tribe Called Quest. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get to see him play live, either baseball or football?
Bo Jackson? Yeah, when he was with the White Sox. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And like I said, I was so bored that I fell asleep because baseball was just boring to me. You know, and then it was like 10 years later, I took my son to a Sox game, and I had one year and I fell asleep then too. So I was like, I see this is a trend going on. So, yeah. So I played baseball as a youth, and it was fun playing it, but just sitting there watching it, I was kind of bored with it.
Joe, did you ever have any pick sixes as a defensive back?
I only played in high school, so I had some then. Yeah.
Okay.
I could have played. I went to the University of Illinois. I could have played. I could have walked on the team there, but I wanted to run track, so I ran track in the University of Illinois.
Okay. What'd you run?
400 meters.
Oh, same here.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I was young and thin. Many decades ago. Many decades ago. All right. If you could bring back any fashion trend from the past, what would it be?
Ooh, probably none.
No.
None of that stuff I would wear.
That's a good answer.
But I guess you can go into hip hop era. I see people walking around with the 8-ball jackets and stuff, so that's coming back. And maybe starter coats. You know, because I used to like the starter coats a lot when I was younger. So maybe that. You know. Yeah,
but just not so many Raiders coats. Like,
right.
It used to be all Raiders.
It was all Raiders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Did you have when you were a kid or a teenager, did you have a favorite celebrity crush?
Yeah. Jasmine Guy. Yeah, Jasmine guy from
Jasmine
different world. Yeah, Jasmine guy from different world. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when my son goes to Howard, so when I was taking him to school at the orientation, she actually was there, and I was too chicken to go over to say something to her. So.
Oh, I would have been too. If you could add any person's face to Mount Rushmore, who would it be?
Malcolm X. Yeah, Malcolm X. Yeah, that's my guy. Yeah, I would add him on there.
Now, would it be the classic, hand on the chin, Malcolm X face?
On the temple.
On the
temple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
All right, let's talk about this week's notable smokables. And guys, as always, notable smokables brought to you by Ace Prime. Ace Prime, notable cigars, notable passion, notable purpose. So if it's all right, I'm going to start out this week's notable smokable. This was actually when we were in Hobart, and I grabbed, it's one of these Drew Estate Unico series Liga Privadas that I had never tried before because they're hard to get your hands on. And I saw some in the humidor, and I grabbed one of the UF13s, and I had I had seen them everywhere for years, and I never tried one. And that that cigar blew me away. It was so good. It was like peppery and chocolatey and tons of smoke output. It burned perfectly. It was a great cigar. So I'm glad I finally got to try one of those. And if you guys see them out there, definitely try it because it's, they're tough to get your hands on. And if you see them, grab one and try it because I think you'll like it a lot.
Yeah.
For me, I was gifted. So my birthday this last week, I was gifted a lot of great cigars. But the one that stood above the crowd was certainly the Purple Rain that I got from our guy Chuck Hilger, and it's not like any other Opus at all. It's a totally, if you can find one, get one, try it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Kevin wants to know, how can you remember that cigar?
I remember a few things from Ristafari, Kevin. A few, not the whole weekend, but I remember some of it. So Aric, for each guest, we ask them, is there something you smoked recently that was outside of your brand portfolio that caught your interest that you really liked a lot?
Pochania, the War Bear, the 5x50 Perfecto. Yeah, I just so happened to find some in Atlanta at a lounge. I had never had it before, so I had other Pochanias before. And I was like, let me pick up this War Bear because I never had it. And I smoked it yesterday, I think it was, or the day before. And yeah, I loved it. And then when I started talking, trying to find it, and I found out you can't find it. And I was like, shit, I should have saved that one. But the Pochania was very good. Mortal Coil by CAO, I think it is.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. And Foundation, the David and Goliath ones, those are pretty good too. The little perfectos that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's we're very fortunate. We live in we live in the middle right now of another cigar boom. So there's so many great cigars out there on the market. So that's one of the things we like to do is just talk about some of those. So that was this week's notable smokables, brought to you by Ace Prime, improving lives through fine cigars. Visit aceprime.com to learn more. So just to give our viewers and listeners a little bit of an idea of some stuff we have coming up here in the next couple weeks. So this coming Saturday, the 27th, is another one of those days that we're having a special Saturday show because our guest is coming to us from Europe, and with the time difference, we're going to do a Saturday afternoon show. And that's going to be on the 27th. We're going to talk to Jeremiah Mirapfel from the famed Mirapfel Cameroon tobacco family and learn about their family history and the story behind that great Cameroon tobacco that you find on so many great cigars in the world today. So we're excited to talk to him. And then on April 5th, we have Chris Monaco and Jeffrey Amendola from the Amendola Family Cigar Company. So very excited. We actually just got them booked on the show to come and talk about their brands and their stories. So One final kind of shout out for you, Aric, where once again, give us all the best place for people to keep up with the latest and greatest from Black Star Line Cigars.
On Facebook and Instagram is just Black Star Line Cigars, and then the website was blackstarline.shop or bslcigars.net. Either or, it goes to the same website, so you can find me there. For events and stuff, I usually post it on Instagram, depending on what city they're going to. I give people ample enough time to, get to wherever I'm going. So my next event is actually in Philadelphia, April 23rd at Vintage Cigar Room. So I'm doing that event, Uncle Nearest, the whiskey. So
okay,
very cool. Yeah. And where can people get that hoodie again?
When it's released, you can find it on the website.
All right,
Aric, brother, thank you so much for being on the show with us, telling us your story, letting us get to know you and your brands, and we're excited for you and for the future. And again, thanks so much for being a guest on the show.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. It's a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to meet you at TPE. Yeah. Excited to have a stick with you. And then, Chicago isn't very far away from us, so I'm sure we'll catch up soon.
Yeah.
Whenever you're here, hit me up.
Absolutely. Again, for all our viewers and listeners, guys, thank you so much for being a part of How About That Cigar. We're so excited to, just come to you and bring you these stories about great cigars and great people. As always, if you guys have questions for me or Garrett, hit us up on the website, howaboutthatcigar.com. You can send us an email directly from there. Follow us on social media at HBT Cigar. And until we see you guys next time, burn cigars,
not bridges.
See you guys. Thanks,
everybody.
Take care.